My channel just hit 1 million views, so it's really nice to see so many people enjoying the content that I've been creating over the years on YouTube. I just wanted to take the time to say thank you for everybody who's liked the videos and left a comment, so it's really been a kind of motivational experience for me. If you're new to the channel, I make a mixture of content, whether it's doing projects on my car that is how to give with duct tape and hope. I also own a 40-foot sailboat which I am upgrading over time in order to go off seasonal cruising, and either side of the seasonal cruising I want to buy a van and convert it and then go on adventures. So if that seems something for you, then feel free to subscribe, and welcome if you do. One of the reasons why I do a mixture of content is I do try and do a video each week. This week I'm actually on a family vacation in a place called Aberporth. I'm here with my parents who need me to drive them back and forth, and then my sisters paid for an Airbnb, so they actually got married in the area, so it's a special location for them. So I'm basically babysitting and driving them around, which is nice enough because I do get a free holiday out of it. And today's episode I'm going to be sharing with you how is it that I'm going to try and navigate the higher cost of living. So here in the UK we have the second world's most expensive domestic energy prices, and before the Middle East flare up, the government was looking to increase the price cap on domestic households to try and help subsidize factories and energy intensive industries, because in the industry world we have the world's most expensive energy. To drive here we actually paid £1.83 a litre of diesel, so my car is very good on fuel. However, I do add something called Liqui Moly's all system diesel cleaner. If you do watch the how-to style videos around my car, you will see me throw the can in from time to time, and I use about 4 bottles a year, and it basically increases the mile per gallon as you're driving. To Americans that works out as about $9 a gallon, so we have pretty much double the price of fuel here. We are going to have another cost of living crisis. I recently made a video of my £1,000 off-grid system, which consisted of a diesel heater and all-in-one power station. So what I decided to do is take some of the money that I've used to save for a van and put that into an all-in-one power station for my parents. The all-in-one power stations, what they are is they're a lithium battery inside, and then they have an inverter and they have USBs, and they have different sizes on them. So the ones that I'm looking at is the 3000 watt hour inverter ones with almost 4000 watt hours of battery life in them. And that means I can run the washing machine, that means I can run the iron, and I can cook using multiple devices at the same time. I always like to do a little bit of a comparison on the projects that I'm doing. So of course there's going to be a difference between officially getting things added to your roof and also wired into the grid. But if we just have a quick look at the cost here, so I've selected just 4 solar panels added to the roof, and that would be a cost of £6,587. So it's quite an expensive upfront cost. And if I add a 5 kilowatt battery, which is 5000 watt hours, that price would be £7,810. And of course it is best to do it this way and go for this route. But if we have a quick look of the DIY system that I've gone for, is if we go to the City Plumbing website, which is a popular chain in the UK, we have these solar panels here, which is 410 watts each, and I can have 4 of those panels, and each panel costs pretty much £60. So that is £240. So there is already a big difference to start off with. And when you are working it out, basically you want to look at this voltage here, so the open circuit voltage, which is 37 volts. So the power station that I selected can handle up to 160 volts, which means I can have 4 of these panels easily, and the combined watt hours would be 1600 in total. And if we jump over to the power station that I chose, you can see here that you have 3840 watt hours. And then if we jump back to just having a battery from Octopus Energy and installing it yourself, by the way, that is £3,447. The main way we're going to be using this is using the wall plug and charging it on the off-peak tariff, which is significantly cheaper overnight versus the daytime tariff, and we'll use the stored energy and then use that throughout the day and then top it up even night. And this is a good tactic if you are renting or if you live in an apartment and you can't have solar panels, so you can basically store the energy and then use it during peak times. Good thing about them is there's no permits, there's no DIY, it's just easy plug and play. We do actually have 3 large solar panels in the back garden propped up against the fence, which is a good tactic if you are renting and you don't have permission to permanently put up any type of structure. And nowadays you can pick them up for about £70 each. So these all-in-one power stations, the one that I have already is rated at 2000 watts, and I brought that for the boat mostly and as portable power. I use it to go car camping. My car is a little bit of an office as well, and with that you can't use things like the washing machine. The kettle that we have is rated too high for it, and the iron that they use as well, which is also too much. So the one that I'm looking to get is a 3000 watt version, so it's almost double the capacity and a third higher with the inverter. After a lot of research, I decided to go for the Aferi P310, so it was the slightly more expensive one out of the other 3 options, but I decided to go for this one because it had slightly more battery capacity, along with slightly higher voltage for the solar panels, which means I can put more in series. The higher voltage allows you to capture more daylight as opposed to sunlight, which is ideal for the UK. One of my biggest concerns is the cost of living increases, which is going to go on with the energy problems. So my stepdad, he's not very well, so even if he wanted to go back to work he can't, which means he's on a fixed income. So he gets a state pension, which I'll put just here, and my mum is the registered carer for him and she gets a carer's allowance, which I'll put here. So she is not old enough to retire, which means she's basically living on the carer's allowance. Now here we're using about £5 a day for the electricity and gas, so of course that's going to eat into their disposable income if other things rise in prices. We've already had the CEO of a company called Next, so they reckon that their prices are going to go up to 10% increase. We've also had Prince's, which it does a lot of like the canned tuna and stuff like that. We've already had them up in their prices by 5%, and of course, you know, the supermarkets, delivery, transport, in April their wages go up for the workers, which means that's an additional cost for them. So a lot of it is inflationary, and a lot of it is going to push up the prices. So this is why I want to kind of try and use technology in order to try and help them out the best that I can with what I have. I am on a budget because I haven't really done that much work over the last few months, mostly because I've been helping my parents downsize, and with the events there's not that much that happens between January and April, and I have seen a lot of events actually getting smaller. So with that said, I don't have a lot of money to go and buy the super expensive solar on the roof, huge battery systems, so I'm just trying to do what I can with what I have. Thanks for sticking around and liking the video if you have. Welcome back if you're a subscriber, and welcome if you are new. The links for any of the products that I've used in the video are in the description below, but you've got the QR code at the top at no extra cost to you. But thanks for watching, thanks for being fans.